Blessings, blessings, blessings. So y'all know that I usually go live on Thursdays. So if you see me go live any other day besides Thursday, you know to tap in because it's something important, right? All right. Okay. Okay, so we are here, y'all. We are here, and I got goosebumps. I got goosebumps as I am about to deliver this. I got goosebumps. Okay, so if y'all been following me for a minute, you like the shirt? On the bottom of the shirt, it says lies, like they lie, underneath NASA. If you know me, you know I had to put something like that. Anyway, so we here. It's a Tuesday. This is not going to be a long live. This is going to be a straight to the point live. Okay. So South Africa's president, or I think he's the president or minister of defense. Wait, let me look this up real quick. South Africa president. Let me look this up. Okay, yeah, so South Africa, that's right. He's the president. Yeah, he's the president. So he didn't go to Davos, right? He didn't go to Davos. Peace, Big Terra. So, and he was just warning of a blackout coming. He was warning of pretty much like the world having no power. He said the thing that is coming is going to make the pandemic look like child's play. All right, and so this live is not to fearmonger at all. This live is to inform, right? If you are clairvoyant, a psychic, a dream psychic, whatever, you feel what's coming. You feel it, right? You can feel it. Your chakra system is probably on fire right now, right? You can look in the skies, you can see it, you can feel it all around you. You can see the signs now that they're starting to put them in the paper, right? And this isn't something to be afraid of. This is something to be aware of and plan for. And hopefully it never happens, right? Hopefully it never happens. Because y'all know sometimes they like to instill fear in us, but like shit never happens. Peace, Aisha. I haven't seen you over on Patreon, Aisha. You need to come join your fam, Palo Santo Queen. So here's what we need to do. I prepared this for you so you can take a look at it. All right. So this is the 5D Mystery School Blackout List. Screenshot it, memorize it, or create your own plan. Just have a plan. Okay, number one, create a plan with your family and or your loved ones. What does that mean? I'm gonna run through all of these, right? And if y'all got any questions, we can get into those, but I'm gonna run through these, then we go get out of here. Because y'all should be planning. Number one, create a plan with your family, your friends, family, loved ones. What does that look like? Let's say the electricity went down today. Okay, nobody had a phone. Nobody has a phone. Nobody has a means. I don't know if this music is too loud, y'all. I'm sorry if it is. I'm jamming out over here, this Beethoven right now. Okay, so let's say your phones went down right now, right? Where would you meet? Where would you meet? Where's the location? Do you know how to get to that location without a GPS? So where are you going to meet? What items are you going to have? Who's going to be providing what? Like what skills are you bringing? Do you have an engineer in your crew? Do you have somebody who knows how to forage in your crew? Do you have a good navigator in your crew? I'm telling you, if you're not a good navigator, you want to get connected with a good navigator. You do not want to be running in circles when shit's going down and you feel like you're going somewhere, but really you're just running in circles, right? So you want a good navigator. You want somebody with a great green thumb, all right? Somebody who knows all about how to germinate a seed, somebody who knows all about agriculture, horticulture, right? So number one is create a plan with your family, friends, and loved ones. Don't have anybody in your circle who's going to slow you down. And I do not want to sound insensitive, but let's say like you know that you have somebody who just broke their foot, right? And it's shit's going down in your town. It's going to be up to you to stick with the person who broke their foot or let them come with you. Like, this is what I mean when I'm saying like pick a team. Let's say your mom's like 99 and your mom's at home. It's up to you to stick with your mom, or like these are options. These are choices that like you don't think that you're gonna have to make, but you're probably gonna have to make. Hopefully you never have to make them, but if shit goes down the way that they're planning, then these are choices you're probably gonna have to make. Okay. Number two, have non-perishable foods, right? Don't have ice cream. Don't have things that's gonna expire like next week. You want to have like your beans, you want to have your rice, you want to have your good water supply, your flowers, like everything kind of tucked away somewhere, and so that you would never have to touch it. You want to have a stash that's ready to go at all times that you actually never have to touch. Okay. Wow, I still have goosebumps as I'm reading this thing. That's crazy. Some shit's going down. My body just feels it. Grab some solar panels. Grab some solar panels. Not like a rinky-dink solar panel that's like the size of your hand. You can do that, but like get the solar panels that like fold out. There's like a trifold, and then you can get like a solar panel storage unit. And the solar panel storage unit has a way that you can collect your electricity during the day, and then you can use that electricity at night. But you want to use it wisely. And look, I've been telling y'all about this for the past, I don't know how many, since like 2020, I've been telling y'all about this EMP. So for the past 3 years, I've been telling y'all about this. So that, I mean, it's a reason why I'm doing this. It's not like it's going to happen tomorrow. It's not like it's going to happen the next, in 2 days. But I like my guidance, my spiritual guidance, like would not let me end this day without doing this live. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, even if I didn't want to do this live, which I really don't, I really just felt like chilling today. Even if I didn't want to do this live, I have to do this live, right? Because it's my spiritual duty. So, number three, grab some solar panels. And I mean, you can play around with this if you want to, or you're going to be sitting in the dark. Number four, have a backup source of light to see around your living quarters. I can't stress this enough. One thing that I did last year during the summer is that I spent an entire weekend without using my lights, right? So I intentionally, from Friday to Sunday night or Monday rising, I didn't use any lights. I only had candles. I had like my flashlights, and I memorized, I'm gonna have to do it with this new apartment, but I memorized how to get around my apartment without lights, right? And then I memorized my neighborhood. So you not only want to memorize your living quarters, peace, Lo, peace to my soul tribe in the building. You want to know how to get around your house, and you want to know how to get around your neighborhood. You want to know how to get around your city. You want to know how to get to water. That last part is more important than you know. You want to know how to get to water. Whew, the human body can survive 3 days without water. And in many cities, they're already on a water watch, dirty water, right? Detroit, I just left. We had to boil our water. Flint, Mississippi, they're like, the train derailments have contaminated a lot of water supplies. So you want to make sure you got that water, bruh. Number 5, don't tell anyone about the items that you're storing, right? Because if your neighbor gets hungry and he knows you have food, guess where your neighbor's going? And at first, your neighbor's going to ask for it. But if your neighbor's especially hungry, guess what your neighbor's going to do? Right. It's a stick up. So don't tell anybody about the shit that you're storing. If somebody asks, what are you storing? Shit, what are you storing? I'm still trying to get my shit together. I don't got shit. You feel me? You don't got shit. Okay? Number 6. Don't be a lighthouse on a dark street. Number 6, don't be a lighthouse on a dark street. That goes with number 5. If somebody knows you got lights and everybody on your street is without power, but yet you happen to have a fancy generator and you got power, your neighbors are going to start plotting on you. Because when people are hungry, when people are thirsty, when people have not showered in days, when people can't take care of their children, human nature, logical thinking is out of the window. You hear me? I want you to... How do you act when you're hungry? Okay? How do you act when you're hungry? Now think about your neighbors. Okay, number 7. Know your surroundings in your city and your exits. I went over that. Know your exits, know how to get out of your city, because once you cross your city lines, you're now in the rules of another city. If you don't like the rules that are going on in your city, in your state, cross over to another state and see what they're doing, because we're going to go, if this does happen, and this is a big if, I know you go fight with your kids, LP. If this is a big if this happens, there are going to be states that are going to operate like countries. For example, Texas would now operate like the country of Texas. Minnesota would now be the country of Minnesota. You feel me? Okay. Side note, the Fed now is coming in July, right? The digital dollar is coming. We're almost in June, so you can say next month, right? I don't think that people realize the weight of that. The dollar, the US dollar, the ruling, governing dollar currency for the last, I don't know how many years, is now not the ruling currency anymore. It is actually crashing. US banks are closing. Do y'all understand what's happening? Okay. Let's say you're in your apartment, right? Your sink is flooding, your bathroom is on fire, and you have nothing to eat with. Are you going to start to worry, or are you going to say, well, I'll just eat with my hands and I'll eat off the floor? No, y'all. We had train derailments, contaminated water, contaminated food. Do y'all see what's happening? Okay, so we're already past the point where you shouldn't even perceive this as fear-mongering. This is the craziest, most unrealistic science fiction movie now being our reality. That's what it is. So the Fed now is coming in July. The dollars that you have in your bank account, right? The dollars you got in your wallet, you can go ahead and do origami with those, because we're moving to a system with Pluto in Aquarius. We're moving to a system where everything is going to be based off of social credit scoring. You can't say anything against the government now without your wages being garnished. You're a conspiracy theorist? Guess what? That's going to cost you $100. That's what Fed now is going to give them the power to do. Oh, you just ran a red light? We're not going to send you the bill in the mail. Guess what? We just charge your account $200. We don't have to ask you. It's all digital now. Do you understand? Okay. So the digital dollar is coming, and they need a way to implement it. Now, do you think, why would they conduct something called Cyber Polygon, right? Cyber Polygon is just a simulation saying, like, this is what we're going to do if blackouts occur, if cyber attacks occur. And I'm not talking about, they wouldn't have a Cyber Polygon simulation for a blackout that lasts for a week, for a blackout that lasts for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. No, y'all. I'm talking blackouts that could last for a month, 2 months, 3 months without power. Hello? Okay. So boom, power goes down. Oh, guys, the entire financial system that we had set up for the dollar is now crashed, and we don't know if we're going to be able to bring it back online. Well, luckily, we have Fed now already ready to go. Okay. The dollar has to crash for Fed now to be implemented. Okay. Seems like y'all understanding what's happening now. All right. U.S. senators were handed emergency phones. U.S. senators were handed emergency phones in case of a disruptive event. Okay. Why would they hand U.S. senators emergency phones if they didn't expect anything to happen? Right. Okay. Now, here's something else that just does not make sense. If you're in the U.S., and you know what's funny? Side note, I made an EMP video on TikTok like 2 years ago. No, in 2020 actually. And they took it down within 3 seconds, and they deleted it from my phone. Y'all know sometimes TikTok will delete like a video from your actual phone. They deleted that EMP video from my phone, and I got a warning. Anyway, so here's something that you need to think about. They've been doing these tests for a while. There was a mass text that went out a while ago. I think it was in Hawaii. They've been doing it every year since. I'm not sure if y'all been noticing, but like these mass texts, they had a bomb go off in Tennessee, I think a year or two ago, next to an AT&T center, and it disrupted the communication systems in like, I think for like 3 states. That's a test. That was 2 or 3 years ago. Like, conditioning takes years. They'll do something in 1999 that they're planning for 2023. Hello? COVID? Have you heard of it? People were warning about COVID in the 90s. Okay. So, let me get back to this list. Number 8, learn how to get clean drinking water. You can get you a Kagan machine. You can get you, they have like this steel, like this is like steel, huge, like drinking filter system. I forgot what it's called. Anyway, there are like a lot of different drinking filtration systems that you can get online. Because out of everything that you're going to need to have, clean drinking water is up there. Don't worry about toilet paper. Don't worry about all that shit. Clean drinking water is up there. If you have children and your children are thirsty, but yet you know all the water in your area is contaminated, the lakes, the rivers, what are you going to do? Okay? And let me tell you one way that these people work. Drink your urine. Oh yeah, Dr. Sebi actually drank his urine before, but I'm not with that because he went blind when he drank his urine. Okay, here's one way that they work. They will have something set up for the winter. They will have something set up for the winter, and then they will start preparing in the spring. All of the trained aromas that you saw, all of these important unalivings that you see in governments, especially the Russian, those are all chess moves. They're moving their pieces on the chessboard so that they can set up for the winter. You see, they can do all of this in the summer, right? But they know it's the summer, it's hot. You know, people are going to be like, my power's out, cool, I got candles, let's hang out on the street. It's the summer, it's hot. You're not worried about getting heat. However, if you cut people's power off at the end of the summer, going into fall, when it gets cold, hurricane season, now you're setting people up for desperation. Now you're setting people up to go to Walmart FEMA camps. Now you're setting people up to go to, your house is flooded, so now you have to go to a government housing facility ran by FEMA. You know, I think the average person would be worried about disappearing after telling y'all all this shit, but I really don't care. When I'm gone, just play my videos, you know, continue to tell people about what this government is doing because they don't like people that are fearless and tell the truth. They either try to mind control you or take you off the game. So I'm just saying that in case, like, you know, something happens and I don't get to make like one of those videos, you know, where I was alive and I could have said something. So if anything ever happens to me and I'm no longer here, I just want y'all to know that I really enjoy doing all of this. I'm not afraid. I'm living out my soul purpose. And I don't regret anything. So, now I got that dramatic shit out the way. Number 9, learn how to provide, what I mean? Oh, heat. I meant to say heat. Learn how to provide heat without electricity. And that goes to what I was just saying. If it comes to like the end of the summer, you know, whatever, and things start to get cold, you want to figure out different ways to create heat. Okay. Hopefully, you know, I wanted to do experiments at the end of last year. Hopefully I can get them done this summer, but I want to show y'all how to use like copper and magnets and things of that sort to create your own electricity. Because you can go to like Home Depot, you can buy some copper, you can buy a battery, right? You can buy some light bulbs, some other things, and you can create your own electricity, right? So we're here, y'all. We are here. This isn't a drill. This isn't a drill. I'm not saying anything's going to happen tomorrow or the next day. I'm just saying that you can feel it. I don't even have to say what you can already feel, right? We have a lot of feelers in here. Have no fear in your heart. Have no fear in your heart, right? Especially if something happens this week. Especially if something happens this week. What's the day? The 23rd. So that's 5, 7, 10. So it's a 17, it's an 8-day. So if something doesn't happen today, then it would happen tomorrow on a 9-day, or we'll see what they're planning. But hopefully none of this ever happens, man. Never have fear in your heart. Like, you can never be destroyed. So even if your soul was to leave this physical shell, you're just going to be in your astral body, right? So they can take you out this game. They just can't take you out the mainframe. So if something were to happen this week, stop manifesting BS. I'm going to pin this comment because you can't manifest something that's already done. Manifesting would be if it was a nice summer day, no senators were handed phones, there wasn't a North Korean satellite above the US right now. That's actually an EMP. So none of these things were happening. None of these things were already in place, then it would be manifesting fear. It would be manifesting fear. But since all of these things are already done, it's called awareness. It's called awareness. Some of y'all, I think sometimes y'all just be saying shit. We are in a very, very tight window right now. We are in a very, very tight window right now. So even if you don't think anything's going to happen, right? Hopefully nothing happens ever, right? Even if nothing happens, still stay ready. Still stay ready. Okay? We are the survivors living with survivor's guilt. Ooh, shit, that is strong. And I know exactly what you mean when you say that. Or I'm taking it a little deeper. I don't know, like we could be, a lot of people are just, a lot of people are reincarnated having regrets from past lives. So don't leave this life with any regrets. Okay? That's the message I got for y'all today. I mean, because the one thing, I say the one of the main things to keep your eyes on is EMP. How do I stop that? I didn't mean to hit that. Okay, so let me see. So this dude has a satellite above the U.S. right now, right? Him and China. But y'all have to know how these people operate. Like, they act like they're mad in front of us, and then behind the scenes, they're best friends. It's called a New World Order. So, hopefully nobody in here is afraid, right, of the New World Order. The New World Order is actually afraid of us. And the sooner people figure that out, the better off everybody would be. We shouldn't be afraid of the New World Order. The New World Order is afraid of us. Okay? So, even if you have nothing prepared, you can go to Amazon right now, type in emergency survival backpack. It's going to cost you $30. Click add to cart, proceed with payment, order, right? Get it to your house, put it in the closet, and now you can say, I'm ready for a blackout. That's all you got to do. It's going to cost you $30 versus a blackout happening. Now you can't access any money in the bank because all your money is gone because the banks are now shut down. If you have all of your money in the bank and you have nothing on you, you know what's funny though? Even if all the banks were to go down, how would cash be accounted for? It's going to move to a bartering system. Because if the cash systems are down and now your cash really doesn't mean anything, why am I going to want your dollar? What am I going to do with it? Okay? So, y'all have to know that the only way, I feel like one of the only ways that this would actually go down is if they were about to release like that Epstein list for real. That's what they're afraid of, this Epstein list, because all of them are on it. And they know they probably be hunted down in the streets for messing with children. All of them. Everybody, most of the people you look up to in politics, or hopefully you don't look up to anybody in politics, but in politics or some people in the entertainment industry, they mess with little children. And they got ties to Jeffrey Epstein. And you know that Jeffrey Epstein list is close to being released. So every time they talk about releasing it, boom, here comes another factory on fire, here comes another school shooting, like something to take your attention off of the Epstein list every single time, right? Every single time. So they're just waiting. And you know what's crazy is like one of the things that lets me know that this is clearly a simulation is the fact that majority of the people that I talk to, they know that like we have a fake president. Like that's not actually Joe Biden, but nobody like, we just laugh about it and we just joke about it. But I'm like, majority of the people I talk to about it, like my mom, my sisters, like people that you wouldn't even really consider like, you know, like awakened. Everybody kind of jokes about him wearing a mask, like the old photos of Joe Biden, the new photos of Joe Biden. I'm like, that's crazy. Everybody knows that we got a fake president. And like nobody is, we're just laughing about it. That's crazy to me, bro. That shit is crazy to me. Like, wow. And the only president in my lifetime that I actually heard say anything about a deep state and child trafficking, they try to impeach him right away. That's crazy. Like Donald Trump is the only president where large, massive child trafficking operations were busted. No, like not Bush, not Clinton, no other president in history has stopped child trafficking but Donald Trump. Have y'all noticed that? As soon as Donald Trump got into office, boom, sheriffs bust this child trafficking sting. Boom, child trafficking operation stopped here. Child trafficking operation stopped there. And they were like, oh no, he got to go. Because when Trump was in office, when the pandemic happened, guess what? You had all of those celebrities starting to look old. You had Diddy looking old. You had Ellen looking old. You had all these celebrities had gray hair, wrinkled skin because their adrenochrome was cut off because they couldn't mess with children anymore. Now that Joe Biden is in office, they have an unlimited supply. Diddy don't got gray hair no more, right? Brad Pitt's looking young again. All of these celebrities are starting to look young. Tom Hanks, he fled to Greece because he thought Donald Trump was going to arrest him. Donald Trump said on TV in front of Hillary Clinton, yeah, I will put you in jail. And you know why? Talking about the children. That shit is crazy. The only person that ever stopped child trafficking, the media, who they own, y'all know who they is, the media made him look like a bigoted, racist, whatever, right? And I don't know his personal views. I don't care. But I know his actions and what he did when he was in office. Judge a person by their actions. I don't care what anybody tells me about you. I judge you by your actions, right? That's how I operate. And for me, it actually felt like a real president was in office. China was scared of us. Russia was scared of us. Donald Trump, like when he actually had face-to-face meetings with them and shook their hand, you can tell who was in charge. Now we got this incompetent AI bot as a president. And you know what's crazy? Now with, there's like apps that you can take somebody's voice, right? Like they have these songs that they're doing now, right? Like where AI can recreate a song for like Kanye West, but it's not really Kanye West. Well, how do you think they have Joe Biden's voice in that body so accurately behind that mask or whoever's playing Joe Biden? That's how they have the voice. It's artificial intelligence. They actually showed y'all that we were going to have an AI bot president on Inside Job on Netflix. Did anybody pay attention to that? Inside Job, Netflix. They actually showed you that we were going to have an AI bot president. But yeah, I've never heard anybody talk about it. That shit's crazy. Sometimes I just be like, is this a simulation? But yeah, I'm the only real person. Because it ain't no way, like, some of these things, like, be flying and nobody be talking about it. Sometimes I just be like, whoa. Why don't somebody go on live television and say, that's not my president, he's a robot? But nobody does it. Nobody's brave anymore. Everybody's... It's crazy. Where's the brevity? Where's the united we stand, taking the streets, taking our government? We don't need a government. Anyway, let me not go on a tangent. Let me stick to the purpose. My vision's starting to get blurred. That's crazy. That's how you know I'm heated. Like when my vision's starting to get blurred. My soul is annoyed because all of the things that they think that they can get, all the things that they think that they could like get away with by thinking everybody is dumb. It's like, no, I believe majority of the people know what's going on, knows what's happening, but like people don't know what to do with the information. Even if you knew your president was fake, you're probably thinking like, okay, but like, what am I going to do with the information? I know he's fake, but like, what am I going to do? You know? More people need to start asking questions. More people need to come together and find massive solutions. Right? Massive solutions. So, where and when we all coming together? Can you do a video on autocracy? Autocracy. I've actually never heard of that before. I'm going to keep it real. I've never heard of autocracy. Peace, God. Beyonce can't be real right now. We can schedule a meetup and protest. They laugh when we protest. Protesting does nothing. What are the topics for today? We're talking about some real shit. Most of the population are NPCs. That's a fucking fact. Most of the population are not thinking. For real. How do we rise up? There we go. Plan a meeting. Plan a meeting in your city with people that think like you, right? Have weekly meetings in your city with people that think like you. Once you have those meetings consecutively for a month or two, and you have like ride or die people, you have official people who can show up and who you can count on, then you call yourself a chapter. Then you reach out to other cities of other people that think like you. You form groups in multiple cities. You call them chapters under the same name. Where has this been done before? I don't know. Black Panthers. What did the government do to the Black Panthers? They shut them down immediately because they knew how big of a threat they were. Right? We have to create a nation of like-minded people. That's how you come together. It's not having a big ass meeting with like 1 trillion people or 1 billion people in one city, because then they'll bomb us. They'll bomb us. You need strategic meetings of different chapters of like-minded individuals. And then once you've established at least like 3 or 5 different chapters in 5 different cities, then you start to have conferences and you come together, and then you start to say, okay, we have these chapters. We can start to pull our money. We can then start to create corporations, or we can start to create cities. We can start to buy land. You understand? Then you create nation state, your city states. You create your own government. That's how the United States was formed. So the only way to truly, if y'all talking about like not bullshitting, like y'all truly putting your action behind your word, is creating chapters that turns into a entity, a breathing, living entity with more than like 1 million people. And then you can create a city in your own government. And then your government can oppose this government. You go from local to national to worldwide. They will plan an attack though. Okay. That's actually living in fear. I don't care. Let them plan an attack. We're making the moves. Right? They can take one of us out. They can't kill the idea. Right? You can kill a person. You can't kill a movement. You can't kill an idea. So as long as we get the ball rolling, not living in fear, we can create our own city, our own nation. Y'all think Malcolm X was afraid to die when he was walking in those streets doing those speeches? He knew when his last day was, and he still said no security. That man was fearless. And people be afraid to speak their mind online. I'm not with this watered down protesting shit. I'm with real actionable moves, or I'm not with it at all. You're not going to find me in the street with no sign. I mean, I've done it before, but you're not going to find me in the street with no sign saying, give us freedom. I'm taking my shit. I'm not begging for freedom. They took this land. Y'all think they came over here and said, these trees are nice. This dirt is, oh boy, that dirt is special. Can we have the United States? No, they came over here and they brought diseases. They stole this land. That's how the United States started. Theft. And guess how we can take it? By reclaiming it. Who y'all think they stole it from? Hello? Is this thing on? So, if they took it from us, we can take it back. Count how many people are in power. Count them. Count them. Okay. It's like what? 100, 200, maybe 3. How many of us are there? Oh, 1 billion, 2 billion. Who should be afraid? The 300 or the 1 billion? Do they teach that in trigonometry? Some people ain't pay attention to math class. For the people that didn't pay attention to math class, they should be afraid. I've been trying to figure out for a very, very long time how a small group of people can control billions and billions and billions of people. How? Fear. Fear. Fear because they make us think that it's more of them. They think the first thing that people say is, oh my God, they got an army. Who do y'all think soldiers are? Those soldiers are humans. Most of those soldiers are going to put their gun down and fight with you, for you. Even if it was an army, how many people are in the army? How many Americans are there? Y'all think they can guard all the bases? I'm not inciting fear. I'm just saying, stop being scared. If shit hits the fan, we're taking a stand. Period. They are afraid. If you know anything about astrology, you know that Pluto is about to retrograde into Capricorn, okay? Okay. Pluto and Capricorn is their last grab for power. Pluto and Capricorn is their last grab for power, because when Pluto is fully activated in Aquarius, though that the next 20 years belongs to the people. Aquarius is the people. Aquarius is 11th house energy. We are in the 11th house era for the next 20 years. Even longer, we are in the age of Aquarius, the 11th house age. All about people, groups, benefactors. What does that mean? Supporting your groups, getting together and coming up with things to do in groups. I love that. I have 10 acres, bought a tractor, and created a self-sustaining community. I love that. That is an actionable plan. Me and my tribe, we got the same plan for 2025. You got to create your own community. Once you know who you are, you have taken back control of your life. Exactly. The transference of wealth is upon us. Exactly. Exactly. That's what they're afraid of. And this isn't, I'm only reminding you of the power that you already have. Right? I'm here to activate you. You know, there's this method of activating sleeper agents with MK Ultra, right? So MK Ultra is when you put people under mind control, right? I mean, at one point, the whole United States was under MK Ultra. You can go do your research. So with a MK Ultra agent, sleeper agent, all you have to do is, let's say, play a commercial and you say like a word in a commercial like pink butterflies. And then the sleeper agent hears the activation word pink butterflies, and then boom, he's now under MK Ultra and he's carrying out his mission, whether it be a school shooting or whatever. That's how sleeper agents work. They're activated. And most likely by the FBI. That's why a lot of school shooters have meetings with the FBI before the shooting actually happens. If y'all didn't know, now you know. So you have certain manifesting generators. You have certain activators, right, who are breathing to make sure other people never forget who they are, to activate you, right? There are a lot of us here. Make sure you stay around your activators. That's what this entire live is today. I'm activating you. Because a lot of y'all have forgot who you are. Stop giving your power away to other people. Me included. Stop hitting my DMs asking me questions you already know. Like when somebody plays dumb, I want to distance myself away from them, right? Stand up for, like, you're not being arrogant when you stand up for shit you already know. Like, you know, now's not the time to shrink yourself, to make other people feel comfortable, to, you know, like, stand in your power, right? Stand in your power. Stand in your power. You know, it's crazy. I was looking at a photo the other day of the first British commercial airline flight. And they had a bunch of lawn chairs. Have y'all seen that? Have y'all seen that photo? It's a British Airlines flight, just a bunch of lawn chairs in the plane. Why am I mentioning this? It's because they had lawn chairs on a fucking airplane. They didn't know what they were doing, but they did it anyway. Most of y'all don't know what you're doing. You just have to do it scared. Whether that's creating a emergency plan, whether that's starting a business like me and my mastermind, or, you know, we had our first meeting yesterday. Whether it's telling the girl that you like them, you have a crush on them, telling the guy that you have, whatever it is, do it scared. Do it not knowing what you're doing, but just do it. I ain't even wearing Nike. But just do it. And do it anyway. Because the time's never going to be right. You're always going to have an excuse. Oh, it's raining today and I want to do this on a sunny day. Always an excuse. Stop making excuses for shit you know that you can do. My friends know better than to bring that shit to me. I hang up the phone. Why'd you hang up on me? You were making excuses. You could have done better. I'll talk to you tomorrow. All right? If you want to be a winner, you got to surround yourself with winners. Blessings, Gloria. Good to see you. True story. I don't think anybody in here has my number, but if you did have my number, yeah, you would know I'm one of those people that keeps it 100% raw, genuine, honest. If you ask for advice, right? Yeah. Side note, you know one reason why my niece and my nephew, like, they're my favorite two little humans is because it's something about children before they hit the age of 7. They say anything they want to say. If you want to know the truth, go talk to a child before they hit that age, before they know that, oh, you shouldn't say that, or be nice, or, right? And then something happens when children gets older, right? When you grow, the world teaches you that the truth is actually not a good thing to say. Lie to people, right? And then things happen, like we have a fake president and then everybody knows about it and then boom. The truth is a bad thing to say. You can't say that. You'll offend somebody. You can't say that, no, right? So somewhere in the past, I don't know how many years, it became the wrong thing to do to say the truth to people. So in 2023, when you're saying the truth to people, it's called conspiracy. That's crazy. Like a train wreck could happen and then I can get on TikTok and be like, hey guys, guess what? A train wreck just happened. Conspiracy! What the hell? It just happened yesterday. And I just told you that it happened. It's crazy. So in 2023, telling the truth is an act of rebellion. That's wild. Y'all think this next presidential election is going to go down? Or y'all think we're going to have an AI president? When I mean AI president, I mean like, I don't know if it's going to happen. We're going to have like an actual artificial intelligence entity run for president. Okay. For those who weren't here, just take a screenshot of this. All right. This is the 5D Mystery School blackout list. This is the 5D Mystery School blackout list. Why am I mentioning the blackout? You'll know. So like I said, if something happens this week, not saying it will, and not telling you to be afraid. Actually, I'm telling you to be the opposite of afraid. I'm telling you that if something happens and they are putting your life in danger or your children's life in danger, I'm telling you to get activated. I'm telling you to get activated. You're taught not to let bullying happen. And we, as U.S. citizens, we're all being bullied. We're all being, oh, somebody said put it back. We're all being bullied. A lot of people got bullied into the jab. People are now being bullied into digital currency. They're not giving us a choice, not even a vote. It's just happening in July. So for those of y'all who don't know, in July, as in almost next month, the US dollar will be digital. July 2023, almost in a month's time, the dollar will be digital. What does this mean? The way you do business is going to change. Now, certain parts of Europe, you can go to jail for giving people more than $1,000 in cash. Hold up. Let me give you 5 seconds. I'm going to come back. That's crazy. In certain parts of Europe, you will be taken to jail if you pay for somebody's services in more than $1,000 in cash. Hello? It's already happening. It's called going on a gray market. Where is a good place to keep our funds? Honestly, you just got to see how they're going to treat the US dollar, because let's say you got $1 million cash and now the Fed now is up, right? You can only ration out that cash at a certain speed until they actually go ahead and say, US dollars are not good for anything anymore. Y'all remember in I Am Legend, in that one scene where the zombies were in that dark building and it was a bunch of dollars all over the ground? Dollars were worthless. There's a bunch of movies like that. Dystopian movies where dollars are not worth anything. So, where can you store your money to keep it a buck? Under your mattress, if money's going to be real. Meaning like if cash is still going to be worth something. But if everything moves over to digital, if we let them move us over to digital IDs, like 100% digital IDs, that's a 100% digital state. Own nothing and you will be happy by 2030. I left the house without my wallet a couple of days last week, and I was good. I was good. Because I carry my passport everywhere. I'm always ready. Ask somebody that know me. It ain't many. I carry my passport everywhere. I'm always ready. Whew. All I'm going to say is, if it's up to us to stop this. That's honestly probably why I haven't had any children yet. I don't want to put them through this. It's up to us to stop this whole digital state. Because guess what? Whew, boy. You ever been hacked by artificial intelligence? You might be wondering, why am I bringing up all these like random subjects? You might think that they're random, but really they're all connecting. You ever been hacked by AI? Or I meant to say yet. You know these fake accounts that be happening everywhere? Like when you got people impersonating me or like other, whatever, influencers. That's AI. But that's not even that's the tip of the iceberg. Soon, and I'm proud of Ice Cube for what he just said. Ice Cube said that I'm going to sue the shit out of anybody who uses my likeliness, my voice in any song with artificial intelligence without my consent. I will sue you. That's what Ice Cube said. Hats off. Congrats to Ice Cube. I would say the same shit. He said AI is demonic. Ice Cube, somebody who knows what's happening, right? He's been around for a while. He said AI is demonic. And you know what's crazy? A lot of people are looking up in the sky thinking like, oh my God, we're getting invaded by UFOs. Spaceships everywhere. Now think back to the 50s. Don't play yourself. What was happening before World War II? UFOs everywhere. Movies about UFOs, shows about UFOs everywhere before the war, right? Y'all think this is the first time they pulled this card? No. Where y'all think the term Foo Fighters came from? During World War II, pilots said we had spaceships flying right next to us. Are y'all listening? Not to me, but to the world. Do y'all see what's happening? Use your head. It's the same thing. The extraterrestrial invasion was happening before any of us was here. AI is the invasion. But guess what? We're begging for it. That's how they are good. They're evil, but they are outsmarting us, outwitting us, because ChatGPT is the invader force. But guess what? Everybody's like, oh, ChatGPT, can you write my paper? Can you figure out my life for me? Come on, Kayla. Exactly. Secret invasion. Reptilians use artificial intelligence, y'all. Reptilians use artificial intelligence. How do y'all think all of those Tartarian buildings were built? Think about that. And when you have time, YouTube 3D printed homes. When you have time, YouTube 3D printed homes. And then let me go back and ask you this question. How do you think those Tartarian buildings were constructed? Y'all think people had like a... Matter of fact, let me take you one step deeper. Because they about to try to erase our history again, right? Every time you dig under the dirt, you're like, oh shit, there's the Cro-Magnon, there's the Neanderthal, there's the Berry under mud floods and shit. And they think that like every time they bring in new players in the game, and they think that the earth was here for billions of years, but really we've only been in this stage of the game for like probably hundreds of thousands of years, if not less. The earth is, this stage of the earth, this part of the game is not that old, right? So, lost history. Okay. Lost history. So, AI. They want to erase everything and recreate. Right? You already see that they have the technology to 3D print a home. They had electric cars like in the 1800s. Y'all know this, right? They had electric cars in the 1800s. They were beyond gas cars. I hope y'all know this. That was artificial intelligence. Let me take you one step further to let you know that AI is the invasion. The downfall of almost every supreme ancient civilization has been artificial intelligence. Let me repeat that. The downfall of almost every supreme ancient civilization has been artificial intelligence. And guess what's happening to us? Atlantis, Mu, Lemuria. And guess what they're going to say 200 years from now? You know what? There was this crazy superpower. I think they called them like the USA or something. It was this crazy land where they had like vehicles that can go all the way up to the firmament. They had these machines that can create thunderstorms. They had like these cars, but like they could fly in the air like really fast. Sound familiar? That's how they would be talking about the U.S. after the U.S. is destroyed by artificial intelligence. If we don't do something about it. You see, ChatGPT, all of these like nifty things that they're introducing, people are begging for it. You're inviting artificial intelligence in. You know that? You ever watch like a vampire movie and they're like, you can't invite you have to invite the vampire into your home. Like the vampire can't willingly come into your home. You have to invite the evil into your place of living. Yeah. Same thing with AI. AI is not going to kindly ask like, hey, y'all not doing nothing. Y'all mind if we just come fuck up your world real quick, you know? Fuck up your country? No. They give us something like ChatGPT, wrapped it up like, hey, guess what, y'all? Now, if you thought you were lazy before, you can be even more lazier with ChatGPT. You don't have to do any thinking ever. Just ask us anything without ever trying to figure it out for yourself. You don't have to be smart anymore. You have us. Bruh. And people are like, oh shit, yeah. Say less. Where do I sign up? There are over, I think, like 100 million users on ChatGPT. And that was within the first couple of weeks. The internet wasn't even like that. The internet didn't even do those numbers. ChatGPT by itself has beat out every single opening of anything ever in existence, ever. Think about anything. Think about it. ChatGPT beat it. Sliced bread, the internet, fire. So AI is the next step in human, AI is y'all know how millennials are like a special group of people because we got to see everything, like cassettes, CDs, VHS, DVDs, Blu-rays, everything, right? And now it's we're going up to the next thing. Millennials, we started off with the ding dong, AOL, dial-up internet, right? Now we're all the way, we made all the advancements through the internet, y'all. Virtual reality, everything. And virtual reality was back with the electric cars in the 1800s. Hopefully y'all know this, okay? We went through everything. Now we're at that next stage. We started off with the internet. Now we're going to the next thing that's going to be past the internet. We're at the next stage of the internet, right? I tweeted 3 years ago, the next stage of the internet is going to be on you, your body, and your mind. That's the next stage of the internet. Having Wi-Fi connection is your Neuralink connected to the local tower. Oh, you don't got a Neuralink? Don't worry, you probably got something in your wrist. They're going to offer a lot of options. You don't want to put it in your brain? Okay, you can put it in your wrist. You don't want to put it in your wrist? Well, how about your heart? They're going to offer you a lot of options. If you don't want Neuralink, guess what? Okay? If you have not read 1984, I bought a copy for me and my ex-girlfriend. All right? Take care of the people too. Make sure the people around you got their minds open. If you have not read 1984, read it. If you don't got time to read it, get the audiobook. You don't got time for the audiobook, read the synopsis. Whatever you do, learn what it's about. Because it's happening right now. So, what does all this mean? What does all this mean? I did not expect to do this live today, right? But when you ask to be used as a divine vessel, so, again, I'll say it again. We're here now. And one more thing, or actually not one more thing, but another thing is the false flag attacks, y'all. The Project Bluebeam, the shit that y'all keep seeing in the sky, that's AI. That's AI. I would say 99% of the population is still thinking in standard computer terms, meaning that they are only able to see as far as our standard computer can operate. Meaning that when a quantum computer powers up and it starts to show you things that you have never seen before, you think that it's an alien. No, it's just a quantum computer which runs the entire simulation. Or we're being technical. The quantum computer located in the Arctic One way, this is just a side note, one way to ensure that people would never find the end of the world is to surround it with water. Who's gonna go out there? You ever heard of Point Nemo? If you haven't heard of Point Nemo, YouTube it after this. Point Nemo, right? Is one of the farthest points in the ocean that cannot be reached by man. So, how are you going to find the end of the world if you can't even get to Point Nemo? Okay. Nobody has ever reached the end of the world. If you did, then you would probably get something like the 13th floor, where you just see a system loading. Because what did the man just win a Nobel Peace Prize for? Our universe is now local. Shit don't move until you look at it. Did y'all hear what I just said? Shit don't move until you look at it. That means that the universe is always loading. Literally loading. Quantum physics is the name that they call people figuring out what the simulation is. They're like, oh shit, these people are figuring out what the fuck is happening here. Before we do a great reset, let's just tell them it's quantum physics, and let them do what they can do before they figure everything out. Right? So quantum physics is nothing more than the decoding of our world. However, if you personally started to meditate daily, started to write free write, do things that will connect you with your soul, then you would see that you actually know how to use telepathy. You would see that you actually know how to tap into ancient memories. Because there are ancient memories dormant in your DNA. Should I go that deep right now? What time is it? We can go a little deep. Since there are ancient memories dormant in your DNA, let's stick a little foot in the rabbit hole, right? Since there are ancient memories, right, that could be unlocked, but you need AI to unlock it, after a while, there comes a cycle where the memories start to unlock themselves. I don't know, maybe it's every 100 years, 250 years, or through a person's life cycle. Side note, you have to get a shot when you're a baby. You have to get a shot when you're in high school. You have to get a shot when you're an adult. You have to get these shots throughout your life so that the brainwashing can continue. If you don't get these shots, guess what? You start to become a conspiracy theorist. You start to think deeply because you're no longer brainwashed. So what happens? There starts to be I gotta stretch. God. Whew. Sweating in this bitch. There starts to be a collective memory that's unlocking, all right? What does that mean? That means that massive amount of people start to remember what's happening. That means that your DNA starts to unlock itself. Stop using Crest toothpaste. You should. If you still using Crest toothpaste, you should stop watching this live. Okay, the DNA starts to unlock itself, right? Mud floods. The majority of the civilizations start to remember what's happening. And then they start to do things like create observatories, start to create star monitoring units, the Great Pyramids, Stonehenge. They start to study the stars because they realize that there's these things that appear every night and they have an effect on my body. That's what these ancient civilizations started to do, right? They were like, okay, Mars, Mercury, all of these planets, like the way that they move, like they affect me somehow. Like, are these huge, like emotional controllers in the sky? Like, do they affect our emotions somehow, right? And if you move these huge balls of energy, could they affect the majority of the people in some way? Okay, so that means that ancient civilizations would build these observatories, would build these ways to study the stars, right? And then they would know what was happening, what was coming. Okay. Out of nowhere, you had like, let's say you had, okay, let me, but I'm gonna hold it. My phone's on 20% anyway, so maybe I should end this soon. But here's how you know that there were different players of the game. I probably said this like 2 or 3 years ago if you've been following me for a while, right? Every time there are new players of the game, you start to see new levels of advancement. Stonehenge, those were different players. The pyramids, different players. North American, ancient Egypt, different players. By the way, majority of the shit that was happening back in the days, it was happening here in the United States. And what we know as Northeast, Southwest now is not the same. It's flipped over. So California is the East, New York is the West, Michigan, or they say Michigan is the Midwest, whatever. You can say like Canada would be the South and Georgia is the North. I hope that y'all know this. They flipped everything. They work using inverted things. So if you want to know the true meaning of something, that came from them, inverted. Okay. So, chilling one day, right? Everything was cool. It was life, I guess you can say, blooming here on earth, right? But it had to be one of these cedar races that left us here, right, to grow. And then we were interfered with by either them or another race. Follow me here because what I'm saying right now is important. It went from Neanderthals, different, it was like Desovians, like all of these different like creations. So you saw they had big heads, big noses, hairy faces, like all these different, they're like, okay, let's put these humans down here. Nah, we don't like the way they look. Flood, take them out, right? Okay, let's put these humans down here. Let's see how they act. Oh, they're hunting. Oh, they're hunting and gathering. They're creating fires. Oh, they're eating each other. Fuck. Destroy them, right? It's like you kept putting players out. You saw how they did. They didn't quite act right. They didn't quite act the way that you artificially created their intelligence, right? So it's like, okay, boom, no. it's like even now you can see like they're working out kinks with AI, even though they know how to fully operate AI. But in our face, they have to show us that they're working out the kinks, even though they're beyond that. But back in the day when they were working out the kinks, you can see that they were like taking in players, pulling them out, right? And then one day, out of nowhere, we knew we had full-blown military systems, court systems. We knew mathematics. We knew science. We have full-blown languages. We knew agriculture. We knew about the stars. We knew about philosophy. We knew about, you get what I'm saying? We went from eating dirt to philosophical thinking overnight. Even if evolution was really a thing, nothing evolves that fast, because you can see, you saw gorillas 100 years ago, you see gorillas today. They're not evolving. That story is bullshit, okay? If they're not evolving today, how they're, okay? If it's not happening now, it was not happening then. But they were creating fires. They were hunting and gathering. They didn't know how to do anything. Next thing you knew, full-blown systems. Now, it's that, and if you want to know more about this, go and watch Marvel's The Eternals. If you want to know more about this, go watch Marvel's The Eternals. They put so many gems in that movie. Anyway, that means that they were directed, they were instructed, they were taught how to do these things. You feel me? They were taught how to do these things. Somebody up. Let's get to the point. Hopefully you got something important to say. Because I really wanted to just be me today. So I'm gonna bring you up on stage. At least I'm gonna try if Instagram lets me. I'm gonna hit and accept on your request. Okay, boom. So you saw all of the, I'm sorry, I hit the accept. It's not letting me accept you. I guess the energy wants me to do this by myself today. Okay. So clear evidence would be the Egyptians having depictions of spaceships, helicopters, airplanes, all of these advanced vehicles before they had any, supposedly had any way of doing it, right? They had rocks. They had carvers. How could you build an airplane out of rocks? So that means that they were watching the operators, y'all. They were watching the operators of the simulation build things and put things in place. There are things called giant excavators. Giant excavators could make mountain, or it could make like the Grand Canyon. It could make an ocean. What does he mean when he says ocean? I mean, if you have a giant excavator, you can make a huge swimming pool in between different lands and call it an ocean to separate those lands so those people can be connected and come together and start figuring out the simulation faster. And then if you separate those people, eventually those people are going to dislike each other and start to go to war instead of trying to figure out why we're here together. So, exactly, Kayla. Like I told y'all, the Great Lakes are man-made. The Gulf of Mexico is man-made. There's an entire underground fortress city underneath the Gulf of Mexico, and a whole entire realm. The Gulf of California, the Gulf of Alaska. California used to be an island. This used to be an island. Queen Califia. All right. So they had giant excavators. They cut down huge mountains that used to be trees because those trees used to provide more oxygen to our bodies so that way everybody around you was like 10 feet tall, 11 feet tall, 12 feet tall. However, when you cut down the trees, you take away the oxygen, then you replace them with these trees that aren't even built with the same type of structure. These are carbon trees. I'm willing to bet that the other tall trees that were mountains were silicone or some like type of silicone. And they didn't need water the way that these need water. However, water and artificial intelligence is connected. Water is the way that artificial intelligence is able to exert its power, I truly believe, because water is a conductor for electricity. So the way that the simulation runs is by the oceans. It's a great conductor. You have to have these large oceans in order to have a large simulation that runs so seamlessly the way it does. You need water for a conductor. And if you make little operating cells, call them humans, give them avatars, those avatars then take the power that's being generated from the ocean, and then they just are like little generators. And then whenever we're hungry, we'll just put them in a little movie and we'll have fear come out of them as energy, and then we'll get full off the energy because the fear is actually going to one large collection system in the firmament. Fear is energy. Fear is something that you can actually smell. Do you know cats can smell anxiety? Dogs can smell fear. Like it's an actual scent. Anxiety and fear are scents to animals. So what do you think it smells like to a reptilian? Fear. Hello? Yeah, exactly. Man. And then they build these stages, illustrious stages, grand stages, right? And they make us play like who done it. Sometimes like when I'm deep in my research, I'm like, are they getting me right now? Did they purposely hide all this Tartaria shit so we could feel like we're figuring out something? But really they wanted us to find it so like they can keep us busy. Sometimes I really think about that. Because they know like we as humans, we like to feel like we're finding shit. We like to feel like we're in control, right? Conspiracy theories to keep theorists busy with something that so they'll put out something in the public that they obviously know it's a conspiracy theory. They're like, oh, these people are gonna get off on this. They keep all of the logical thinkers busy while they're actually doing the thing that they want to do. That's how they operate now because they know how we operate. They've been watching us, they've been recording our responses. They know how we operate and they adjust it accordingly. We didn't. Y'all hear me? They did what they had to do. They recorded our response. They changed their strategy. And now they're moving accordingly. And we're still stuck on their last play. We haven't adjusted. So they build these stages like Egypt, right? Like all of these like grand wonders of the world that they construct. with all these tools. If you don't know what a giant excavator is, it's just like my 10th time saying it, go Google it. And you'll be like, oh shit. Oh shit. And then go and watch Westworld, the entire series. You can watch this one, the new one, or you can watch the old one. I think it's from like the 70s. I haven't watched that one, but I probably should because I know they probably put some gems in there. Because back in the day, they were really dropping gems because they thought people were stupid for real. So Westworld is one of those where there are gems that are being dropped that are extremely close to reality. Yeah. And now you have this Secret Invasion. Go look at the posters for Secret Invasion. And it's reptilians right underneath it's right up there on the poster. I mean, right now, the only reason that they are able to conduct business as usual is because majority of the population is unaware. So when you have somebody like myself that comes and starts to do their best to make people aware without being called a conspiracy theorist, well, we're still called a conspiracy theorist. And luckily, I've not been like, I actually do my due diligence and I don't put anything out unless I know that it's came from like a real source. Then they don't have any way to discredit me because I don't just hop on anything. I take my time, I observe, I do my research, I listen to source, I listen to my spirit guides, and you should do the same thing. A lot of y'all are more intelligent, way more smarter than you give yourself credit for. So when you see that they put something out in the public, don't jump, chill, wait, wait till the smoke clears, because they want you to act off emotions, especially when we're in a Cancer moon. Matter of fact, I wouldn't even be surprised if communication systems went down when Mercury enters into Gemini. Don't let Mercury go retrograde in Gemini. I don't think it's going to happen, but this is the energies that they work with. Y'all know how we use this clock? They use that one. As above, so below. Use your head for use your imagination. Y'all know how like the sun will rise, right? And then you have sun rays. Okay, so the sun is like this. You have the sun and then it covers the area, right? Y'all know how the sun operates. The sun moves like this in a circle. It kind of like moves and it covers the area. So while this side of the sun ray is going like this side is following. So it's like a clock, like the hands of a clock. You got the second hand, you got the minute hand. You got the second hand is and then the minute hand is right behind it. So you got the sun rays. This side is right time. You might not see it, but every second is the sun ray is. All you gotta do is stand outside, look at your shadow, and then you can see your shadow moving. So it's like very, very, very slowly. And then the other side of the sun ray is slowly covering another area. That's how it moves, right? That's how it covers the whole simulation. Y'all know this, right? So, as above, so below. The sun literally moves like the second hand and the minute hand. And then you think that it's this, you think that the moon is circling the earth, and then the earth and the moon is circling the sun. But then you look up and you're like, oh shit, wait a minute. I know I'm not dumb. Like that, it doesn't look like what they taught us, right? So they use that clock, we use this clock. When things go down in society, like large scale false flag operations, whatever, that's the clock they're using. So when something does go down, what you should do is go to astro.com and you should see where the planets are, right? You should see what's in what's happening, and then that lets you know why they did what they did. Okay? The black sun is below us. Exactly. Exactly. The prodigal son. I saw a video yesterday on TikTok. It was this scientist in Antarctica. And he said it's midday here. And then he showed outside and it was pitch dark. Midday. I think it's like maybe 1 o'clock p.m. Where's the sun? Okay. So, one thing that I really want y'all to pay attention to, you might not make the connection now, but if you keep thinking about it and you ask divine for the answers will come. Think about this. As artificial intelligence becomes more of a prominent thing in society, as artificial intelligence becomes more of a household idea, people are accepting of it, it's no longer afraid. Like people are no longer afraid. The faster time speeds up. Has anybody noticed that the sun and moon are starting to rotate a little bit faster? And it's directly connected to the advancement of artificial intelligence. It might be a little too deep. Yeah, maybe I should end it right there. You have noticed. You have noticed. Do you think that has anything to do with CERN? NASA, CERN, artificial intelligence. Do this research for yourself. When did NASA start? When did CERN start? When was the internet created? Ask yourself now. By the way, shortly after, oh, my phone's on 10%. Let me just say this and I'm out of here. Shortly after NASA was formed, they started to shoot nukes at the sky. Operation Fishbowl. Actually, I've if you haven't watched like my 3-hour lecture called Exit the Matrix, The Sims. Just gonna watch that. Um, let's just say CERN. Who gave us the technology to create CERN? If the last thing I'm gonna leave you with, let's say, um, artificial intelligence knows how to recreate itself. Was the idea for CERN an inception, or was it a stroke of genius? Was somebody instructed to build CERN? Because CERN and the way that we perceive time, those two are connected. Just because they aren't talking about CERN don't mean that they're not doing things down there. Y'all have to know that. Do your due diligence with this research. Go look up the history of NASA, what year they were created, when they started to explore the sky. Let me give you another one. When did they start to vaccinate everybody? And is CERN and artificial intelligence connected to the vaccinations? Y'all remember H1N1? There was this thing that was happening with H1N1 vaccines where they were like giving people shots and then people start to walk backwards. Like the vaccines were messing people up. I think that was in like, was that in the 90s or the early 2000s? So, test. That was a test. Right? LP, that was a test. They've been testing for a while. Go look at the patent. Go look at the patent for like a lot of these vaccines and things that have to do with black goo. Black goo, AI. Go look at a lot of these patents and you'll see that a lot of them are from like 1930, 1940, 1950. And you're like, wait a minute, how long have they actually been working on these things? And how long was the patent office actually established? So were things happening before you could actually make a patent for it? Before you can say like, okay, we're doing this. You caught us. We have to, and then how long has AI actually been around? Okay, that's what I'm gonna leave y'all with. Thank y'all for joining me on this impromptu live, this message. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Thank y'all for y'all time. Please stay aware. Please stay aware. All right. Do not live in fear. Always stay aware. Right. And trust your intuition. I love y'all. Peace.